pace with control of this race. Here comes a run from Davey Hazard. He blocks the 10. Not going to be enough. Ryan Pace is going to win at Talladega.
Curry trying to hold off Wilson. He's done a good job so far. Wilson, one last desperate attempt to the bottom. He won't get there. Nick Curry wins at Bristol.
Coming out turn number 2, coming down the back straightaway here. Looks like he's in a class of his own right now.
Merzlak, one final time, get around the 55, big time send.
He hits the wall, he hits it, he gets the lead, but can he hang on to it? Oh my goodness, he made it to the line!
Big push down the backstretch is going to give him a good run through the corners.
Just a little bit
follow from the 1.
A little bit of contact there for second, but coming to the line, Toby Roberson's going to take home the checkered flag and victory here from the new Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Before I wrap things up here in this segment, your thoughts on the type of race we're going to see tonight? And I would have to agree.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to tonight's feature presentation of the Velocity Racing League Road Ringer Series here live tonight from Watkins Glen. So happy you're joining us tonight on JTN. As always, I'm your host, Joe Twansky. Alongside me tonight, you know him, you love him. He is Mr. Joseph Weaver. Weaver, welcome to Upstate New York and the Watkins Glen International Road Course.
Hello, Joe, and hello, everybody at home. Glad to be here up in the booth with you again at Watkins Glen. Ready for some fun racing tonight.
Fun little short field, short road racing here tonight with Velocity. A ton of fun. Drivers of all different skill sets and levels tonight, Weaver. What kind of challenges does that pose for these drivers?
Well, Joe, you said the name of the game is challenge. If the people at home have seen the races here at Velocity before, then they know it. But for anybody who hasn't, this is a learner series, a chance for everybody to come out here and run these road courses, get a little better at a lesser used discipline in the stock car world. So we're here tonight at Watkins Glen, one of the premier stock car road courses in America, I believe at least. It's a fun track, a lot of challenging corners, but a lot of easy corners as well, some nice long straightaways to let you think about what's coming ahead.
A lot of opportunities tonight to make mistakes. We saw that in the season opener here at Watkins Glen, a newer version of the track with some different curbing. Tonight, though, we're running Watkins Glen 2011. So if you want to run this version of the track, just search Watkins Glen 2011 on Google, and you can find it. Again, we don't distribute those tracks just because a lot of times some leagues have exclusive rights to them and all kinds of different stuff. So we leave that. We leave that to you folks at home, but this is Watkins Glen 2011 for you folks at home if you're looking for it. Good way to start off the night. Decent little field here tonight, too. I know a few weeks ago, I believe we were at Denver, ended up having the race canceled last minute due to small field, small turnout, and some other issues with games and servers and all of the like, but a good little 7-car field here in practice. Small fields on road courses, Weaver. You love them, you hate them. I think it really lets these drivers race the track tonight.
Yeah, I think it's definitely the better move for a learner series such as this one. It gives you drivers a chance to go out there and really hone in their craft on the track and not worry too much about battling for position or battling another driver. It's still going to be in their mind. We're still going to see some great battles here tonight, like we saw our first time around here earlier this year. But I do think it is a little better for a learner series to have a smaller field.
Yeah, so qualifying underway. Again, we're going to go 36 laps once again here tonight. 17 split in half, 17 in the first stage, half, whatever you want to call it, segment, and then 17 in the second. This allows all the drivers to come down the pit lane. This is the finale. I do believe Zach Rogers has claimed the championship by a pretty healthy margin this year. I can look that up for you folks at home. We didn't really pay too much attention to the points because of that. Has been a sporadic field. Again, it kind of goes hand in hand with what Weaver was talking about there. Smaller fields, drivers trying to learn, and the like, of course. Yes, Zach Rogers is your champion. He has already locked it up. Gallagher probably is going to end up finishing second in the points because Seth Cole is not here tonight. Who sits third? So, see Cody Luke in chat. Mark, Benjamin, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you guys are having a fantastic Monday night, starting off right with us here on JTN. Make sure if you haven't already, drop a like on the video and subscribe, especially if you're new here to JTN. We do this all the time. We're going to be live at Watkins Glen all week long, Weaver. I know you're going to catch a plane because you got some other big things going on down in, down in Florida. You're getting ready for Daytona week down there. But Ricky going to be joining me in the booth the next couple nights. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're getting prepared. The big week at Watkins Glen this week, but everybody loves to go hard for Daytona. We got to make sure everything's ready.
Make sure everything's ready and it's hurricane season, right? So.
Oh, we're never not prepared for hurricane season.
Yeah, I mean, a few years ago they had the residuals up here, all the way up here for hurricanes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Remember that? That wasn't good. Was that hurricane? Was that Sandy?
Not sure. They love running up the East Coast. I know Jersey's been hit by a couple residuals one in the past that were pretty bad.
So if you're a Hurricane fan, this race might not be for you. I don't know. We're not Hurricane fans up here, right?
Oh, I like them. I welcome with open arms because they don't scare me.
They don't scare you?
No. So it's some wind and rain, Joe. That's all it is. Wind and rain.
Qualifying has concluded. Car's going to roll out there for happy hour. Weaver, why don't you take us through tonight's starting lineup?
Sure thing, Joe. Starting on the pole, your champion for this year, the 6 car, Zach Rogers, putting up a pole time of 1 minute, 4 seconds, .297. Starting on outside pole is the 27 of Niall Gallagher. In row 2, we have the 54 of Joshua Lizaswain and the 86 of Andrew Miller. In row 3, we have the 31 of Devani Rodriguez and the 7 of Jeff Perchatsky. And on our final row, we have the 45 of RJ Bishop and the 78 of Chris Inciardi.
Nice little field of drivers tonight. Going to be a fun one here. Velocity Racing Road Ringers Series from Watkins Glen International. Remember, you can use code JTN at CircleBDiecast.com for $5 off shipping on your order of $30 or more. Mark, glad you had a fun time at Richmond. It was a... what did you think of that Richmond race yesterday, Weaver?
I was pleased with it.
Yeah.
I was very happy at the end of it. We had I would say a good race.
I don't know. I got bored. I don't know. It might have just been a me thing. But I was bored.
I could definitely get that. I think for me, I'd say it was a lot better than the first Richmond race that we had this year. I think, obviously, we're going to Richmond. I'm going to have lower expectations than most tracks. I think there was some solid movement through the field. I think the races to watch yesterday was definitely through the midfield and on back.
I think this race was a lot better than the spring race.
Absolutely.
So, it did have that going for it. Mark was at the race. Says he thought it was going to rain because they had to end up turning the lights on there towards the end. It did look like it was going to rain a little bit. Also, what's the point of the race if we already have a champion? Well, the schedule set before the season. This was part of the schedule. And again, it goes back, Mark, to that whole idea that a lot of these drivers are learning the road courses, honing their craft, turning left and turning right. So wanting to still give them this opportunity to go out here, run a good race, show everything they've learned throughout the year, apply it tonight, and hopefully get a good result and get to talk with us after by finishing up on the podium.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day for this series, the points were all just a formality, something to tie to it to kind of maybe keep a couple people into it as we went on through the season. But like you said, at the end of the day, everybody's out here to just get better at these road courses, be able to hone that craft in a little more.
The RJ Bishop Tesla Model S number 45. A lot of rumors about electric series for NASCAR this upcoming year. Be pretty interesting, right?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely can see it in the future. I don't think it's anywhere close. I still think electric vehicles as a whole have a long way to go, but it's definitely in the future for sure.
Why do you say that?
I feel like it's inevitable. As a whole, electric vehicles.
The long way to go part.
I think we are still very early on in the development of EVs as a whole, even in the consumer market. Yes, there have been EVs for a long time, but we're really only just now getting to the point where we're seeing mass production and mass volume on the roads of EVs, and I still would call it, we're still in the first generation for electric vehicles.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with electric vehicles as we watch this beautiful Tesla from RJ Bishop, I just called the Tesla beautiful. I'm rolling right now. The biggest thing I think is just the ability to charge and recharge these vehicles, especially when you go out on trips. Where I'd really like to see electric vehicles implemented is with school buses, postal trucks, those type of vehicles that idle a lot. You know what I mean? Because I feel like that's probably where you're going to save a lot on emissions and stuff. This is a very boring topic for a show where we're going to be going racing here, but I feel like that's probably a good place to start, which is where I wish they would have started, instead of, your Mustang Mach-E's and the like, even though they're very cool vehicles.
Yeah, I definitely think when you're talking about vehicles like the Mach-E, we're really seeing a real life beta test. These companies are putting out finished products, but at the end of the day, they're testing and development.
Yes, very much indeed. Just like there's a lot of rumors going around about GM having some egg on their face with the Hummer EV. Maybe not as many sales as they thought they would be getting for a $80,000 electric Hummer. I believe that's what its MSRP is. Davey enjoying our alternative fuel chat. We're so professional here on JTN. At least I am.
Hey, we're bringing the people content.
We're bringing the people content.
We could sit here and be quiet, or we could talk about something.
We're looking 78 Target car. Welcome in, Austie. Anyone's got questions for us in chat? We can try to answer them. Too.
Probably won't be the answers you want, but
we'll
get you an answer.
So NCRD there in that 78 tonight. Seth Cole normally pilots it. Normally it's a Tesla. Need a 54. Litha Swain. Netflix colors on the side of that car.
You subscribe to Netflix, Joe?
No. No, I haven't in a couple years now.
I can get behind that.
It jumped the shark,
They were a little too soon, I think.
I don't even know if they were too soon. I just think they got too big. Got too big for their britches. Why did the chicken cross the road? Mark asks. Why did the chicken cross the road, Weaver?
must have been something on the other side that he liked. Saw a fine hen on the other side.
Whoa. Family show. We were a family show. Believe happy hour is coming to a close. Am I correct, maybe?
Got about a minute and a half left.
Popeyes wanted them more than KFC did, is what Mark says. What's your favorite chicken place, Weaver? I know you got. I think you have more options than I do up here. What's your favorite chicken place? Chicken fast food.
That's a tough one because there's a lot of different types.
Now you just gotta go overall. So whatever their best dish is, that's how you're ranking them.
Yeah, big fan of Bojangles.
Mm-hmm.
If we're talking the conventional chicken, like KFC, Popeyes, Church's, I'd probably go Popeyes. Church's is up there. Zaxby's got some good tenders if you're willing to spend a little bit extra money.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of options.
You didn't say Chick-fil-A.
There's a reason.
What's that reason?
Not a fan.
Oh, wow.
Not a fan.
You don't like pickles?
I like pickles. I'm just not a fan of their food in general. Not for me. Never been a fan.
Good for you.
The waffle fries are pretty good.
Yeah,
I like the fries, but
Aussie says you're like a chicken connoisseur.
no, I'm a connoisseur of a lot of things.
Do you like to...
Do I want to know?
No, you don't. And RJ Bishop has died here in turn number 1.
That was a very good reenactment of the Jimmy Johnson crash if cars were a little more bouncy.
Quick, Davey, shield your eyes. Jay's the only one out on track. All right, we're getting ready to go.
Drivers.
That's the replay screen. That's the wrong screen, Weaver.
You'll get there eventually.
Yeah,
I
well.
believe in you, Joe.
All right. Getting ready to go racing here for 36 circuits around the Watkins Glen International Road Course. Waiting on one more car. As you hear the command, and these 8 race car drivers get fired up to go racing here from Watkins Glen. Zach Rogers going to lead us to grade in the number 6 Rowdy Energy Mitsubishi with Neil Gallagher. The outside in the 27. Then it's the 54 of Joshua Lithuanian and the 86 of Andrew Miller on row number 2. Field makes their way off of the final corner to get started here. Pontiac Grand Am pace car comes down the pit lane. We get ready to go racing from Watkins Glen International. 36 laps, season finale for the Velocity Racing Road Ringer Series. Green flag, and we're underway here from Upstate New York. Already a big send from Zach Rogers down to turn 1. Clear for the lead. 27 Gallagher gets in line. Car way outside. That's Andrew Miller into the grass. Back on track.
If anybody remembers our first time here earlier this year, you know we were running that newer layout, a little more pavement there off turn 1. But not the case here. A lot of grass there. Drivers can't hang it out as wide.
RJ Bishop issues there. Gets into the Armco barriers down the back straightaway. Field makes their way through the bus stop. Let's sway into the inside of the 31.
Good run out of the bus stop for the 54 there. This is Swain making the pass in the carousel.
It's by Rodriguez up into third. A lot of smoke there out of the 31. Rodriguez having some issues. That's going to allow Andrew Miller to try to pounce. Another big wiggle there from the 31. Down the front straightaway we go. Woohoo! I don't know what happened there. 31 hit the brakes on corner exit. Zach Rogers, though, is out in front of the field still. You know, Gallagher, Joshua Litzeswain, Andrew Miller, and Devani Rodriguez, your top 5. Further on back, RJ Bishop trying to go around the 78. Inciardi makes the pass down to the bus stop, so 45 bouncing back here.
You've seen it a lot when we call these races that 45. Seems to fall back a lot early on, but always seems to rebound, get a good finish. Definitely going to be one to keep an eye on, especially when we get to this halfway break.
D4 able to make the pass for second, so Litzeswain up into position number 2. And then at number 54, Andrew Miller is up into 4th. Zach Rogers holds just about a second lead over the 54 right now as we head down into the bus stop. Top 5 kind of broken away from the rest of the field. Rogers, big wiggle. All these drivers manhandling these cars through the bus stop.
Big sending it through the bus stop. About everybody in that top 5 really getting all they can out of those corners, rather.
That's okay. All right, one washing way high.
54 Liz Swain's catching up to Zach Rogers here.
All right, we kind of worked the start of this race now. Field has seemed to simmer down a little bit on the intensity driving these opening laps. Now what do you do? Knowing you have a caution coming up halfway in this thing that'll reset you, that'll get you down the pit lane. How do you set up this?
Way wide there in turn 10.
How do you set up this first half of the race knowing that you're going to get grouped back up as here comes Andrew Miller for the 3rd spot?
Well, Joe, I think you really got to start driving conservative a little bit, enough to make it to that stage break safely, but you still want to push. I think right now we've seen drivers really singled out into kind of how fast they are, see who can make up some time, who can maybe put some time on the car behind them. See that 54 starting to pull away. See a tight group here of 3 cars here for 3rd, 4th, and 5th positions. Hey, now you enter that stage where you're really managing your race and not worrying too much about racing the drivers around you.
Weaver, how do you not worry about the drivers around you? It's so there's so much to worry about.
Well, that's my biggest thing when it comes to racing, especially at a track like this or say a short track, is if I know I can manage my race, I can rely on that to help me get past other cars later in the run. I think it's a little more advantageous than to just pick a car in front of you and try and hunt them down. I feel like you're just going to hurt yourself in the long run doing that.
Giovanni Rodriguez down in turn 1 continues to struggle at 31, hopping the curb there through the bus stop. I think that's a 31 giving you a good example of maybe being a little too focused on the guys in front, get a little smaller out of the windshield, and maybe losing sight of the racetrack a little bit.
It could be, Joe, and it could also be, like I said, a lot of these drivers are probably used to that newer version of Watkins Glen where you have so much runoff there. Maybe they're used to just hanging it really wide on turn 1. It's a big adjustment to make to really tighten up that corner.
I like my adjustments small, you know?
Well, realistically, you'd want a small adjustment, but sometimes it's got to be big.
Sometimes you gotta make a big one.
Sometimes the hand is forced. Tell you what, back up at the front at 54, Liz Swain, he's getting real close to Zach Rogers these past couple laps.
Closing the gap to the race leader, the points leader, the champion here for the first season of the Velocity Racing Road Ringers Series.
That time by the 54 running his quickest lap of the race.
Ooh. Might come down to having a duel here at the end of this thing between the 6 and the 54.
Similar to the duel we had last time we were here with this series, involving one of the parties in this battle, Zach Rogers and Dunn LaPrade. That was a pretty wild race there. Ooh, we both go a little wide out of turn 10. Oh, a pass in the grass!
Battle for the lead down into 1. Rogers, big send. 54 going to cut back to the inside.
He didn't get it done in the grass, but he sure set it up. A big run out of turn 11, a little in the grass. Got side by side. Set him up perfectly for turn 1.
An interesting battle. These two very evenly matched right now. Zach Rogers able to, or at least more willing, to take advantage of the entire racing surface to build as good of a line. The 54 of Liz Swain being a little more conservative, really kind of holding a tight line through this track, not letting the car get swing way out to the sides, not being too aggressive going down into the braking zones. 54 leads the lap. That's that difference in approach, right?
Yeah, I'm noticing now, especially with the lead, it looks like that 54 taking more of a defensive line through these corners, kind of squaring off exit, kind of cutting off both lines if the 6 were to get a run. He's also now pulling away a couple car links on the 6 of Zach Rogers.
Could it be where Zach Rogers maybe was pushing it really hard to stay in front of this 54 and burned up his stuff a little bit?
That is very possible, Joe. I'm sure he started out strong, was trying to build a strong gap from the start of this race.
Mm-hmm.
Might have came back to bite him. We'll see here. But it's not a awful strategy. You do know we got a halfway break here coming up soon, so definitely a chance to learn from those mistakes if one was made.
Well, it's still hazard to think that the 6 will still be in contention here. I mean, hasn't lost sight of the 54. Your battle for third continues to stay pretty static. 27 Neil Gallagher still with the spot. Andrew Miller trying to find a way to get to the back bumper of the 27. Hasn't been able to do so. The rest of the field all single file. So we'll keep our eyes locked here on the lead. Well, folks, we do have some more races coming up for you on JTN this week, including tomorrow night, the Maverick Cup Series takes to the road course here in upstate New York, Watkins Glen, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Tomorrow night, August 16th, then it's the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series action at Watkins Glen. Thursday night, August the 18th, 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Then the Brothers Paint and Collision 107 Hobo Racing Cup Series action from Chicagoland. Next Tuesday, August 23rd, 8:50 p.m. Eastern Time. Those races, of course, live right here only on JTN. Excited to go.
Schedule coming up.
Yeah, excited to go back next Tuesday night with our friends at Hobo. It's been a while. Of course, another road course race with Maverick this week should be fun.
Long schedule, just trucking through it here, the heart of the racing season.
Yes, indeed.
Oh. Both of our leaders there getting pretty wide. Zach Rogers way out in the grass. Big run through turn there for this turn 10 for the 6th.
Into the wall, they both
drivers
go.
catching wall.
78's down on pit lane.
You can really tell both these drivers are pushing it all they can through these corners.
And for the kids out there that maybe don't feel too confident in their road racing ability, right now you're getting a pretty good masterclass about where to hit the curbs here at Watkins Glen, how to attack these corners. These two drivers putting on a whale of a show. They both stepped over those bounds a little bit, but you still have the opportunity to do so this early in the race. You see the donuts there on the side of the 54. You're seeing the dirt flying every time these guys edge on over those curbs, just a little too much.
Always been a big fan of the curbs here at Watkins Glen. Very forgivable. Can use a lot of them on most of the corners.
And we have 4 laps, including this one, left here in the first half of the race. We'll get that halfway caution, allow everyone to come down the pit lane.
Joe, I don't know about you, but I'm really starting to see it's almost a tale of two halves here with these guys. Zach Rogers looks like after they go through that bus stop, gets a good run into the carousel and really can close up here through turn 11, but going through turn 1 and it on through the carousel,
Ooh, Swain
seems to really pull back that gap.
Yeah, it's tail of two halves of the track right now, right? 54 better in this first little section. I think that's just Zach Rogers. This is a section maybe where you can't push the car as much, can't push the issue as much. So the 6 kind of struggles down here, because I think Zach is definitely the more aggressive of these two drivers right now with how he's racing the track right now. I don't know if you concur with that idea, Weaver, but really seeing that 6 a little more willing to step over these boundaries on the racetrack.
Yeah, Joe, I do agree, and I think you can really tell that in the way he really attacks that bus stop and gets this run that he does into the carousel. See here, almost on the rear bumper going into turn 10.
And CRD has now gone 2 laps down.
Oh, getting to the inside here at turn 11, they're going to be side by side. 54 gets a better drive off, going to pull away.
Zach Rogers going to look to the inside. Big dive here on the bottom. Can't make contact. 54 going to get washed way wide. Going to maintain the lead on the outside. Going to have 2 laps left here in the opening stage.
These drivers know that stage is coming to an end. Oh, a little too much on the inside there for the 54.
Allow Zach Rogers to power around on the outside into the bus stop. We go. 6 clears for the lead.
It's a tight place. You don't want to be too wide going into the beginning of that bus stop. See what the 54 can do here.
As the Swain trying to find a way back for the lead. 54. We're coming into the section where this 54 car is just a little bit better than the 6.
And the drive off of turn 11 has been the difference. This is where he's made his money. Gets right up on the bumper.
Right there on the rear bumper. 1 lap left here in the opening half of this race.
Good move there. Peek out on the front stretch. Make him think of the dive bomb.
If you're Zach Rogers, you like what you're seeing now, because after you come up this hill, you're going into the portion of the track where you are so much better than the 54. Down the back straightaway into the bus stop we go. Through the carousel, Rogers continues to extend the lead ever so slightly here. Past Matt Kenseth's autograph section. Off the final corner. Off the final corner, 54 into the outside wall. Zach Rogers going to lead here at halfway. Lindsey Swain second. Gallagher going to take home 3rd here in the first half. Andrew Miller 4th. As the leaders slow down. Donnie Rodriguez there 5th. 6th will be the 7 of Jeff Perchatsky.
Pretty fun first half there, Joe, wouldn't you say?
I would say. Drivers get the opportunity to come down the pit lane. Fuel, tires. No adjustments can be made to the setup of the race car. So we sit here, Weaver, right? We saw an entertaining battle for the lead there to this first half of the race. Now as we get ready to head into the second half of this race, what are you looking for?
Well, Joe, I think we're really just going to expect to see much of the same there from the first half. A lot of hard driving. There's two drivers at the front of this field that clearly want this race win and are willing to go to the depths to get it.
Here we go, down the pit lane. It's a slow procession down the pit lane, isn't it?
Very slow here, Joe. Only a 45-mile-an-hour pit road here at Watkins Glen. Also pretty difficult with that downhill section on the later half. Easy to get caught speeding.
So Rogers wins the race off the pit lane. Gallagher second, Miller third. Litheswain falls all the way back to fourth. They've repaired some of the damage there on the 54.
.54 loses swing, like you said, probably getting that damage repaired, getting a fresh car. We saw them come through the field on that first run in just the first few laps, so expect much of the same here this second half.
Ryan Pace says Watkins Glen. Mark pointing out how the pit road is backwards here at Watkins Glen as well. Also, there's a sprint pyramid. There it is on your left. You like the sprint pyramid, you a fan, Weaver?
Yeah, pyramids are pretty cool, pretty neat shape.
What about schemes?
I guess I'd have to say of all the schemes, they're the best. But it's a low bar.
It's a low bar. All right, here we go. Getting ready to go back green. Perchatsky with control. Green flag. We're back underway. I have to think that the 7 car did pit there before the break. Zach Rogers, big send to the inside, going to take the lead down to 1. Another big mover there, the 54. Litheswain already gaining a spot, already on the back bump for the 27. Gallagher going to look to the inside here, up the hill, all over the curving. 54 going to look for third, trying not to get boxed in behind the 7. 2786 battling down into the bus stop. Oh, things are getting wild here behind the 7 of Perchatsky.
Elizabeth Swain looking for a way around that 7. Can't find it just yet. Zach Rogers is loving that, though, able to build a little bit of a gap here.
There goes the 54. Joshua gets on by. Oh, Rodriguez into the Gallagher. 31 all the way up to back to 4th.
good start to this second half for the 31 of Devani Rodriguez. Like you said, up to fourth, looking for third. The inside of 7 is going to clear him here going into the S's.
So 31 up onto the podium. Gallagher in the 27, going to be the next car to try to find a way around the 7. Oh no! 7 car, Pachetsky around into the tire barrier. 27 going to go up and over. 45 into the 7. First wreck of the night, going to be the first caution of the evening, I do believe.
Looks like we're staying green up here.
I'll get you a replay of what happened. You saw it live, you see it again. Oh, look at the 27, the 45 hard into the 7. That's kind of one of those situations where you're going so fast through there, right?
Yeah, Joe, you're going really fast. It's hard to really make any big adjustments with the car. You're already pretty off balance by whipping it through the bus stop like that.
Yeah, caution is out. Race back to the line, Weaver. Come on.
Oh, that you know, it tripped me up a little bit. Tripped me up.
So first natural occurring caution of the night due to an incident on the exit of the bus stop. Failed to get an opportunity to come down the pit lane. The damage fixed. I think 27 and 7 and 45 will all be taking advantage of this opportunity.
I got a little off-topic question for you, Joe.
Go for it.
What's your favorite melon?
Melon?
Yeah, melon.
Cantaloupe.
That's the wrong answer.
What were you gonna say? Watermelon?
Yeah, but if there was anyone I would hope and you weren't say, it was going to be cantaloupe.
Oh, I like cantaloupe. It's sweet. Now, cantaloupe guy is field. Everyone going to come down except for the 54. Or 31, rather.
Well, the 54 did not come down. They have disappeared. A little bit of internet connection issues there for Josh Melissa Swain.
That's not what you like to see. You hear all those pit sounds? Meow, meow. Zach Rogers wins the race off pit lane. Andrew Miller second. Gallagher third. Inciardi fourth off pit lane. That's going to be RJ Bishop and Perchatsky.
54 Liz Swain is back on track, catching up to the field now. Thankfully had that issue under yellow. I'm not going to lose any laps.
It's always a nice little surprise when that happens, right? You're terrified. Nah, Mark, it's not embarrassing to make the pit noises. It's fun. Right, Weaver?
No, I don't think so.
Part of the ambiance. You don't think what?
I don't think it's embarrassing.
Okay. I was like, you don't think it's fun? And ask, how do you have fun?
I don't think the people at home want to know how I have fun.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't think Bristol wants you to tell it either. Getting ready to go back green. Rodriguez, Rogers, Miller, your top three. Makes their way down the front straightaway into the restart zone. We will go. Bonnie Rodriguez with control. Green flag. We're back underway. Watch to see if Zach Rogers can make a big charge down into turn one. Always aggressive on the brakes. 31 loose. 27 around. Gallagher goes around. We stay green. We're at least racing back to the line. Haven't seen if there's caution called just yet. Andrew Miller currently sits third. Lithus Swain and gets on by for the spot.
Not looking like we're going to get a yellow for this one, Joe. I think just a quick spin. Now Gallagher got back going quick.
No harm, no foul. Unless you're Gallagher, and then you're harmed and you feel pretty fouled.
Yeah, I'm just surprised that wasn't a bigger wreck, though. We saw the 31 Devani Rodriguez getting loose there in turn one. Was able to gather it back up before that spin. Definitely had a chance to be a much bigger wreck there. Pretty tight battle up here. The top three, top four even. Zach Rogers leading the way. Devani Rodriguez in second. Joshua Liza Swain in third.
Liza Swain trying to find a way around. Devani there for the spot. 31 washes high. Here comes the 54. Going to have a strong run this time down the front straightaway. Rodriguez, defensive line going down into turn number one. See how well under braking. No, lets the 54 on by.
Seeing a big difference out of this 31 from that first run to what we've seen in this second half of this race. Really keeping it a lot more tidy than that first half, and it is shown in the running position right now with third.
As we run lap 26 here of the 36, about 10 and a half laps to go. We've seen a couple. Obviously, we saw our first caution, natural caution of the night. Now, as the field gets more spread out, Weaver, if you're Lithuanian there in second, what are you doing different to maybe try to find a way to Zach Rogers?
We've had a big accident at 78 of Chris Inciardi was in the tire barrier out of the bus stop, it looked like.
Back and find that. replay. Oh, no. Oh, what a hit. Gets lodged in the tire barrier.
Very tough hit, just a little wide there through the bus stop, ended up firewall deep in the tire barrier. Never a good way to end the day at Watkins Glen.
Never a good way to end the day at Watkins Glen, but a great way to end your day at home is to head on over to GardenLightsDirect.com, because from porches to patios to more for all your outdoor lighting needs, GardenLightsDirect.com has you covered. Again, that's GardenLightsDirect.com, GardenLightsDirect.com, GardenLightsDirect.com here on your TWB 10 to go.
What better way to decorate your brand new dorm or apartment? I know it's getting move-in time for all those college students out there. Some nice new lighting.
Heck, even if you're getting ready to start a new year of school, you know, get some lights for your room, give yourself a nice little study ambiance.
Good refresh. It's always a good way to, hit the reset button.
I know I'm definitely going to be taking these next couple weekends before classes start to get my life back together, just for it to get completely torn apart once again. You gotta love school.
That's the game we call life, Joe.
Hey, but you get to go see football games again, you know? You win some, you lose some.
Always gotta find those silver linings.
31 washes high on exit of the carousel in the grass. That allows Andrew Miller to get the third spot. Jeff Berchatsky is out of this race, as Lithuanian all over the back bumper now is Zach Rogers for the lead. 8 to go.
He's been knocking that lead down steadily these past few laps, and he's starting to knock on that door. Took some pretty spectacular driving through the grass and a big pass down in turn 1 last time to get ahead of the 6. Going to be interesting to see if he does get by, what it takes this time. Back in third place, 86, Andrew Miller able to stretch his legs just a little bit there on Devani Rodriguez. Further on back, Niall Gallagher rounding out your top 5, RJ Bishop in 6th, last car on track.
Oh, Rogers out into the grass. That's going to allow the 54 to get up the inside. Up the hill we go. Netflix and Rowdy Energy battling for the lead. Rogers holding steady, going to maintain it as we head down the back straightaway.
Side by side through the edges, you don't see that very often, but these two drivers made it work. Liz Swain taking a peek there into the bus stop, probably was never going to make that move, but definitely something for Zach Rogers to think about.
The leaders are battling here at the end of this race. It's the final run to the finish. 6 to go this time at the line.
Both drivers giving it all they got now. Liz Swain was so close. He's got to get back up this little gap and make another charge for that lead. 5 to go this time by Zach Rogers, still your leader.
Gonna be a battle of the wills coming down to the end of this one. Who makes a mistake? Who doesn't? Who can keep that other driver in the second position? Zach Rogers right now tasked with that. Field and cars head up the hill here. Long, winding roads ahead. I mean, Weaver, when we say 5 laps to go, I mean, for the folks at home, that's still 15 miles left in this race. Still a long time, still a lot of opportunities to make mistakes.
Absolutely, Joe. We're talking over 50 corners in these 5 laps. But it's plenty of time for these two to duke it out. But they know the time is winding down in their head. 5 laps is still 5 laps in their mind. They know the time to get it done is now.
Both wheeling the cars right now through the last set of corners. 4 to go this time at the line. Zach Rogers has control of this race. It's up to Joshua Lizaswain to try to find a way to gain an advantage to get to the inside, as he does here through corner number 1. Good run coming up the hill for the 54. All over the back bumper, but the one thing, Zach Rogers has been so aggressive all night, Weaver, on this racetrack. The one thing I haven't seen him do, running the grass up the hill, and that's really what has been costing this 54 car.
Yeah, Joe, I think there's definitely some more strong suits on this track for the 6 of Zach Rogers than there are for the 54. I think it's really going to come down to who makes that big mistake.
3 to go this time at the line off the final corner. 54 washes really high, got on that curving, lost grip in the rear wheels. Going to lose a lot of time this lap down into corner number 1. I think that's really going to set this 54 up to only have one more good chance to try to find a way around the 6.
Yeah, big wiggle there on the front stretch really hurt the 54. Gonna have to use this lap and probably a lot of the next lap to really get this gap back.
It's a duel for the win here at Watkins Glen. Mano a mano. Car versus car, driver versus driver. Heck, each tire paired up with another battling the other race vehicle. Down the chute we go. Off for corner number 11 here in a moment. 2 to go this time at the line. Before again washes high there off of 11. It's at 2 laps to go. Zach Rogers still your leader down into corner number 1. 54 going to have to get aggressive, trying to find a way to get to the bumper at least. Really swinging wide here on these corners, trying to gain as much speed up the hill we go.
Hey, you know, Joe, that first half, it really looked like turn 11 was where the 54 was making his money. That's where the difference was for Lizaswain to make some time on Zach Rogers, but seems to be where he's losing all the time now.
Through the bus stop. A lot of opportunities to make a mistake through that set of corners. Both drivers get okay into the carousel.
Swing a little wide on exit there, going to lose a little time. Zach Rogers is running a perfectly clean drive here these last few laps, not giving him any chances to really make that big gain.
Oh, 54 into the wall. White flag in the air one final time here from Watkins Glen. Zach Rogers is your champion of the Velocity Racing Road Ringer Series, trying to cap off the year with a win at Watkins Glen, his home track. Trying to get things done. At least his favorite track. here in upstate New York. Here comes the 54. One big charge through the bus stop. Gonna wash wide once again into the carousel.
Not sure if he's going to be close enough for one final lunge in these last two corners. See what he can do here.
Gonna be aggressive. Smoke from the 54. Off of turn number 10. Not close enough. Into 11 we go. Lifts a swing. Big send. Gonna hit the wall coming off of the final corner. It's gonna be Zach Rogers taking home the victory here from Watkins Glen.
This is Swain gave it all he could, but Zach Rogers just ran a clean one there at the end. Really polished up any of those mistakes he was making early in the race and turned his weak points into strong points.
Andrew Miller takes home third. Devani Rodriguez in fourth. Neil Gallagher fifth. RJ Bishop going to come home in sixth. Remember, folks, stick around. We're going to talk with our top three finishers. We're also going to talk with Zach Rogers, league admin, about some of the things upcoming here for the Velocity Racing League. Remember, if you want to check out Velocity Racing League, you can find their Discord down in the video description below. Join the Discord, find out more about how you can race with the boys here at Velocity Racing, and get broadcast live right here on JTN.
All the drivers giving their congratulations to the driver of that 6-car winning tonight's race, winning the championship for the series. Big night for Zach Rogers.
It's always good if you win the title, you know, coming into the last race of the season, if you also win the race, because then you don't have to worry about anyone else doing burnouts with you.
Yeah, the spotlight shines on one alone, and that's the 6 of Zach Rogers.
I would think that he would have it no other way. So Zach Rogers wins it here in upstate New York. We will get the results on your screens momentarily. As always, cannot thank you enough for tuning in to JTN tonight. Weaver, I think you and we're going to need some more practice on these road courses going into next year, aren't we?
Nah, I think we do just fine, Joe.
Well, hey, let's go ahead and start with our third place finisher. He's driver of the number 86, Andrew Miller. Andrew, you got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Hey, buddy, third place finish tonight. I know it was there was a lot of racing there with you in the 27. What happened there towards the end of the race?
I'm not too sure what happened with what the 27 got caught up in, but at that point, I was just focused on maybe trying to get past the 31 there at first, and then once I was able to do that, doing my best to try to go gung ho to try to catch the 6 and the 54, but those two were in a league of their own. There was no shot unless they stayed side by side way longer. But no, it was still a lot of fun.
Well, and Andrew, we know you're a great road course racer in your own right. What do you think that those two guys were doing different tonight that maybe you could have done a little better at?
Oh boy, probably they were probably a little more consistent than I was. PTA physics definitely aren't my strength.
Mm-hmm.
Probably able to get back to the gas a little more consistently sooner. I feel like I was doing pretty decently otherwise. I think I had them in the bus stop, but that was really about it. Whatever they were doing differently, I would certainly got a little homework to do in that regard. But hey, it's Watkins Glen week, so this is 1 of 4 for me, and can't complain with third.
Well, a busy Watkins Glen week for you, Andrew. Congratulations on the podium finish tonight. Before we let you go, floor is yours, buddy. You know what to do. You've been on this side of the booth. You know what to do on that side.
I appreciate it. Well, of course, got to thank you and Weaver there for broadcasting this. I know it was only 8 cars, but still a good fun one regardless. Shout out to Jaden. Hello. I love you lots. And everyone from the group chat. And shout out to Zach for putting this race on and getting the W. And of course, Josh also ran a great race there. And I'll see everyone at Bomb Squad on Thursday. We'll see if we can actually try to give some of those guys a run for their money. Knock on wood.
There we go. Andrew, as always, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us. And again, congratulations on the 3rd place run here tonight.
I appreciate it, guys. You're all awesome. Thank you.
Andrew Miller, driver the number 86, your 3rd place finisher here tonight from Watkins Glen. Let's go ahead and next bring in our 2nd place finisher, driver the number 54, Joshua Litzeswain.
Hello.
Hello. What a battle you put on there with Zach, huh?
Yeah, it ended as a if only race, one of those you think back and you're like, man, if only I did this.
Well, what would that number 1, because I'm sure, we've all been behind the wheel. We all have about 1,000 of those, it seems like, every race. What would be at the top of your list? What do you think you could have done a little bit better there to get around the 6?
Oh, well, I wish my game didn't crash, but
well,
it's
a good one.
Done, side by side through those S's, I should have pushed a little harder.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think if I passed him there, I would have stayed in front of him easy.
How did the race change between that first half and that second half? Because it really felt like you were you're in your class of your own, especially coming off of corner number 11. Whereas towards the second half, it felt like Zach in the 6, he might have figured some things out. What do you think happened?
I think it was a combination of me saving a little bit in the first run and having a little bit more tire at the end. And I think Zach just started picking up a little things that he was doing wrong and I was doing right. And I think he because he's a great racer and he can do that right on the fly. And that's what won him the race, I think. Well,
Joshua, a great run for you tonight. 2nd place finish. Before we let you go, floor is going to be yours. Family, friends, sponsors. I know you got a lot of great people that help support you. Floor is yours to shout them all out.
Amsoil. Let's see, Moxie, Liam Tingley. I love my boy Liam. I hope he's watching or somewhere, and I hope he can start racing with us again. So.
Well, Joshua, again, congratulations. A great run for you in this 54 team tonight. 2nd place run. I know you wanted to park it in victory lane. Nonetheless, great run. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us. And again, congratulations.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Joshua Litzeswain, driver number 54, your 2nd place finisher here tonight. Well, let's go ahead and bring in our not only race winner, champion of the Velocity Racing Road Ringer Series here in 2022, Zach Rogers. Zach, you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
A fun little battle there to end the year, huh?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Take us through some of it, because it felt like at times that 54 was a little bit better than you, but then it kind of shut the door there in the second half of the race.
1 second here. I am so unprepared.
That's okay.
Yeah, no, it was a heck of a battle. There were a few times where I made a mistake and it let him get by me, and then we were both making mistakes. We got into the wall there twice off of turn 7, which was kind of funny. We were just showed how much we were racing for it there, even though we were only racing to the halfway point. His game crashing definitely set him back a little bit there. But we still had a great battle there on the second half. I tried to save my tires a little bit, keep the wheel straighter on the second run while he was trying to get back up to my bumper. And I found it was actually just as fast as how I had been driving it in the first half. So I just kind of kept doing that and made sure just not to make any big mistakes. I had the one hiccup there in turn 1, clipped the curb a little bit too much, and it shot me to the left. Felt a little weird that it did that, but I was able to defend, and he didn't really force the issue there. I think we still had about 6 or 7 to go, and I was able to just kind of hold him to that 2/10 at the closest there to come into the finish, and just kept hitting my marks. And he just basically had to keep throwing the hammer at it to try and find something there, and it worked out, and I came home the winner. And this, in my opinion, this makes up for the season opener when I self-spun. And we didn't have those. We're using a different version here tonight, so we didn't have those curbs to go over coming off of 1. This version has grass over here off of turn 1 still, so the other version didn't. So I'm glad we didn't have to worry about that wild card tonight.
Well, Zach, obviously the win tonight, but overall champion here. I know it's your league, you're running the thing, but to kind of set the example, be the first champion here, what does that mean to you? What kind of, is there anything that comes with that? Do you think it was kind of what you wanted to do, set out from the start of the year? Take us through what it means to win the championship.
Yeah, the championship wasn't really like anything I cared for coming into the season, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
As I told you in the first race and the third race that we had here on JTN, the first Watkins Glen race and then Road America, this league has always been about just having fun, getting people to come out. It's fun to be competitive about racing for wins here, but it's also fun to have someone you can race against and just kind of like learn a little bit of the track. We had one guy, Chris, there, came out tonight. First race for him in 10 years on this sim, man. And I mean, he might have been all over the place, but I think he had a good time, and he got some of that rust off. So glad to see like whoever we could to get out here. I know I was promoting this thing last second, and we got 3 more people to show up because of it. So I think that worked out for a little bit of entertainment. But back to your question, since I like to trail off a lot. Yeah, no, it's cool to win a title, but when your closest competition missed one race, and then it was hard to gain points when there wasn't big fields. So I'm not even gonna really write this one down, to be honest with you. Like it's a title, but it was a debut season for this league, and it was just hard to get people consistently. So again, trailing off. I'm telling you, I need to get more sleep or something. But yeah, just to summarize, it didn't really mean anything. No, I just wanted to be competitive and have fun.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's not hold you for too long, because I know you got some really cool announcements you wanted to make before we go off the air tonight. Want to give you the floor to do so. Kind of what Velocity is going to look like going forward.
Yeah, so I kind of realized it today. I'd probably been thinking about it subconsciously for a couple of weeks, but it feels like for a new league such as ours here, or mine, I guess, since I'm really the only admin running this thing right now, the season format doesn't really work even in a shortened structure. So we had 8 races, And even then, it didn't really work. We went 1, 2, 3 races, and then we were getting 6 or less pretty much every race until tonight when we got 8. So I've also got a lot of stuff going on in real life behind the scenes. I'm trying to get my first book self-published, so I'm really like spending time on that. I also have a couple other hobbies on the side of the whole sim racing thing, and I got a day job. So but everyone's busy with life too. I know a lot of people. Don LaPrat had something he started doing on Monday, so he hasn't been able to race with us. I know he wants to, but there's just an example there of like everyone's got stuff going on. There's other leagues got going on that have been around longer than we have. So as far as the league goes, my idea is to just kind of have a couple one-off events every few months when I have time. One idea I have is on this track, I want to run a full-length NASCAR style race, 90-lap race at the Glen. We probably use cup physics and a mod that won't crash everybody's game every 5 laps. That's one idea I've got. One event I've run a lot that I haven't run in a couple of years is a dirt rally event. We've generally used CTS physics, but we've also used PTA once or twice. We did an island rally event one year, and it was like an 80-lap race, and I think that was set way too long because, man, I was tired after it, and Brandon was in that race, Brandon Hawkins, so he can attest that race was like a 3-hour thing. We had that streamed by, I'm trying to remember the name of the streaming service, DRTV, I want to say it was. I think that video might be still out there, but anyway, that's like another event I'm thinking of doing. The last time we ran it at Riverside Rally, using the Super Stadium Trucks mod or Stadium Super Trucks mod. Geez. So that's another event idea in my head. And then I don't know, maybe like a 250 lap short track race or something somewhere down the line, or like a Coke 600 kind of thing. I don't know. Like I've got some ideas, but I just want it to be fun. Probably have a little incentive to run it, maybe a prize for the top 3 or something, but that's just some stuff I'm thinking of, because it feels like even while the 8 race season structure seems short enough to gauge interest and have somebody run for the title when it's road courses, I feel like it's still kind of like hard. And I want that to be our main focus right now to a degree. So I don't think the season structure is right for our league right now.
So if folks want to stay up to date with these special events, what's the best way to do so going to be?
It's going to be Discord. I'll be sharing through multiple Discords when we do get an event going. Always got to advertise, Might talk to you about a couple ads here and there. But Discord definitely is the main way to go. I don't have a Facebook page group thing. I feel like a lot of times people don't see those as much as they do Discord. So our Discord is the way to go. I believe you've got a link somewhere, Joe, on this stream. So if you don't, I don't know.
We'll fix that if we don't.
We'll fix it. But yeah, Discord, to answer your question, our Discord is the way to go to keep track of what's going on. It might be a little quiet for a month or so, but I'll be working behind the scenes on getting something going.
Well, Zach, it's always a pleasure to get to talk with you after these races. It's always a pleasure to come out and broadcast these races here with Velocity. I believe, we ended up doing 3 this year. Am I correct in that?
Yes.
These 3 races, they were a lot of fun, especially this one tonight, Watkins Glen, watching that battle for the win. Congratulations once again on the win. Before we let you go, though, floor is yours. You know what to do, buddy.
All right. Yeah, you know it. First, I want to give a shout out to Seth Cole for letting us use the server here in the Racing Core TeamSpeak. Couldn't have done it without him on some nights too, with him helping me out, co-admin. I'd like to give a shout out to you guys for broadcasting this. Always great to go back and watch the races, and I'm sure I'll be watching this one either tomorrow night or some point this week when I have time to sit back, watch the whole thing. Want to give a shout out Brandon Hawkins, the man himself, the road course legend who has kind of made me the road course driver I am today. Following behind Brandon, whether you are half a second off of him or 2 seconds off of him, you will find something somewhere to see what he's doing. Can't thank Brandon enough. And then finally, the last great shout out goes to the one and the only Muffin Man, Jovan Anderson himself, BSR Ricky J himself. Where were you, my man? I know it. I know you think you're busy, but I know you could have come out tonight. Anyways, all fun aside, I hope Jovan tears it up Thursday night at Bomb Squad Racing, and I hope all those guys at Bomb Squad Racing have a great time. Great league over there, as always. And that is it for me tonight.
Zach, as always, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us. And again, congratulations on the win and the title.
Thank you, Joe.
Zach Rogers, driver of the number 6, your race winner here tonight. Well, Weaver, I think that wraps it up here for Velocity 2022. You got anything to add, buddy?
No, I think everything was summed up very well there, Joe. We had a fun race tonight, and it sounds like there's some fun ideas, some fun races there on the burners there by Zach Rogers. Going to be something to keep an eye out if you're interested there at home. Definitely a solid group of guys to come out and race with.
Well, folks, as always, we cannot thank you enough for tuning into JTN tonight. Make sure if you haven't already, drop a like on the video and subscribe. It does so much to help support us here on the JoeTow Network. Remember, you can follow us on our social media at JoeTowNetwork on Twitter and Facebook, as well as TikTok. Make sure you go over to JTN2 and you're subscribed over there for all of our non-live content. With all that being said, though, folks, again, thank you so much for tuning in. For all of us here at JTN, for Bristol, our producer, for Joseph Weaver, I've been Joe Twansky. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time live right here on JTN. So long for now, folks.
Yeah, and they're going to be 3 wide coming to the checker. Never mind, they're going to be... Oh! Turn 4 into the tri-oval. Whitehill and through the grass. It's going to be Noah Joyce winning his first career race in the Red Bull Cup Series.
Off the ride and a wrecking behind him. You have cars flying everywhere. The car's upside down. It doesn't matter. Noah Joyce has done it. He's won a Daytona in the 3 car.
Behind, they're going to be side by side again. Contact there between Cinder and Bordeaux for
The contact! Oakley into the wall. That's going to be Jack Healy coming to the line.
Jack Healy with